Welcome back to Andertons TV. It must be the beginning of a new year because Thom is back with a plethora of wonderful new Ibanez guitars that have been launched for 2026. Yes. How are you, sir?
I'm really well. I'm very tired, but I'm really well.
Yeah, we were just chatting before we get into it. Give us the quick 30 seconds of like all the music things that are coming up from you in 26.
Wow.
Especially the ones that you can't talk about.
Yeah. So there's Redacted. So there's a new JTC course coming out.
Brilliant.
And then there's another one probably towards the end of the year, which is sort of aimed at guitarists looking to get better if they're stuck. All guitarists are trying to get better, but you know, like we get stuck in shapes and things like that, and like what does a ninth mean and that sort of thing. So we're going to push for some of that because I think that can explain that quite well.
Good.
So new music, and then I'm going to be launching loads of social media stuff this year as well.
Cool.
So I haven't posted very much for the last couple of years. I'm going to start posting properly with full-length videos.
Good for you, man.
Things like that, which
Good
is good.
for you.
Well, I've got all the opportunities in the world, and I'm
Should we get into that then? So,
sure.
Ibanez, okay, no introduction needed here. One of the big players in the guitar world. I kind of think as well, slightly uniquely positioned, as they are one of the only brands that truly has managed to appeal to jazzers and metalers and modern guitar players and 80s guitar players, and so they really have and bass players and acoustic guitar players as well. So it's big range. Every year there's lots to try and go through, and we're going to do it all in one video. So timestamps below. If there's only one of these models that you're interested in hearing, use those, and we'll get to it.
I think before we go in as well, like these are only just a few of the models that we have available for this year. So there's loads of different color variations. So there's a white version of this, and there's some different colors.
Well, let's leave our editing team. So at the beginning of each new model, we'll put everything on the screen so you can see it. So come on.
Cool.
What is this, Mr. Thom?
Yes, so this is the new Alpha series for this year. It's obviously for the country and blues player. But yeah, it's a completely different design from the normal Ibanez thing. I think if I just run through the specs, and we'll talk about why they've chosen certain things. So the first thing you'll notice is that the input jack is on the back at the top. And there were some concerns online about like whether you can sit with it comfortably. So if I replug it in, because I was foolish and unplugged it, it sits well here. It points out here. It sits well here.
Mine would be things like do like amp plugs and wireless stuff go in there. But can we just have a little look?
Can you see that?
It's not that recessed, is it?
No.
Pass me where's the other one? Pass me the red one over there.
Sure.
I'll be the model whilst you're the player. That's barely recessed. It's basically a Strat input socket, but on the back, isn't it? So if a wireless or an amp plug thing fits on a Strat, it will fit on here.
The main thing there, though, is that it doesn't actually get in the way. I mean, I'm quite a slender man, so maybe your mileage will vary. But just sort of, it doesn't get in the way. Okay. But that was one of the things that really popped up on. I was like, why is that there? It's fine. And when you stood up as well, it's just...
Presumably the strap placement is important as well, because the idea is the cable's going to come and wrap around the top of the strap.
Yeah, I found that when I was using a right-angled cable, it made it slightly easier for that. But generally, it's fine. You can just do that.
Cool.
So yeah, we've got an input jack up here. That's the main thing. We've got obviously string through, but then there's also a different thing we can do with the bridge, which we'll talk about when we get to that. We've got a battery compartment because it's got Fishman influences in it, and then we've got this really weird neck joint just for the Alpha series, which is sort of the plate thing, which is like an old school Ibanez thing where they've used a plate and then also done the screw thing. But it's fine. We'll talk about the neck access when we actually.
So the plate there, it's a 3-bolt design, presumably holding it in, but this plate is obviously adding some extra pressure on the back of the body as well.
So that's the back of the body. Now if we talk about the front, this is the new M2 bridge for this year. It's basically an updated monorail. The idea with these is that you can string through the back of the body, or you can top load through the back of the saddle. So there's obviously a tonal difference that comes with that. And if you're into that sort of thing, you've now got the option, and it doesn't really change the way it operates or anything. If you're unfamiliar with the monorail bridge saddles as well, the reason that they've done them as individual saddles is that it eliminates quite a lot of crosstalk between the strings. So when a string vibrates, it will vibrate the bass plate, and then it will transfer. That's great on things like Strats and Tellys, but maybe for down-tuned things, you don't want that as much. So we've got that. Fishman Fluence pickups in this, ceramic in the bridge, and an Alnico in the neck. And then because they're Fluences, it comes with a 3-way toggle, so you can change the voicing as opposed to a coil.
What are we expecting here then? More power out of the ceramic or something like that?
For me, there's a tonal difference. So this is like in the back position, normal, like this version.
Yeah.
Here we've got like a bit more of a mid-range bump. so it sounds a bit more passive, I think. And then here we've got another voicing. Well, I'll demo that. You'll be able to hear it really clearly on the cleans when I play them. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. If you're familiar with fluencers, you'll know what the deal is. Let's talk about the neck. Multi-scale.
Yep.
It looks unwieldy. It's not. So the idea with a multi-scale is that when you're down tuning 7 strings, so let's say we've got an RG that's 25.5-inch scale length, it's generally fine for like drop B, drop A. If you go lower than that, or even in drop B and drop A, depending on the string gauge you're using, your note can get quite flubby. So like when you hit a note, it goes wow, because the pitch goes up and then returns to neutral. What happens when you elongate the scale length is that the string doesn't do this as much.
Yeah.
It does this instead, which means that your note doesn't go up as much. It sort of stays a bit more consistent. So that's the reason we've got that on the multi-scale thing. On the top, we've got 25.5-inch scale length. So if you're used to Strats and Tellies, you're going to be fine. Or RGs and S-series. And then on the lower side, we've got a 27.2-inch scale length on this one. And then that's 27.5 on that.
Right.
So obviously it has an extra string.
Yeah.
And that 0.3 makes all the difference, apparently.
Yeah.
So
No, it
there we
will
go. So yeah, that's the front of it. We've got stainless steel for the frets, and then we've got a Mikasa ebony board. And then the other really important thing to note on this is that it's got an asymmetrical neck profile. The thing that they've got going on here is that it's flatter towards the treble side, and then fatter towards the bass side. And I've had these for about a month, so I've been bumming around on them and having fun with them. And I've really noticed that the neck profile here is really comfy. Actually, when you're riffing, when you're doing the sort of the 7-string thing, and then when you're up the top, you can play it sort of normally. And it feels really good, because I was really pleasantly surprised by these. Like when I first saw them, I was like, that looks like something from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Nice.
you know, when they go to the future. But then I picked it up and I played it and I went, oh, I get this, this is cool.
Let's have a little listen.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
But I think you can see how over the last 5 to 10 years, builders have been moving away from perhaps traditional Strat Telly style design, or not moving away completely, but pushing in
It's
other
a different
areas.
market now, right?
And even the asymmetrical neck here feels like a sort of is it a slightly rounder, but it's got that vibe of the Strandberg Endura, so it almost feels like there's a thumb placement here and a thumb placement here, and maybe another one here, but more roundy.
Yeah.
And of course, the body design, you can see how other brands are really pushing this much more contemporary, much more ergonomic. Again, you've got a position here, you've got a position here. But all people really want to do is hear you shred it, Tom. So come on.
I'm going to riff it
Let's
first.
do it.
All right, before we get into it, actually, the neck access, the fret access, because this was another thing online. It was like, oh, the fret access looks terrible, whatever.
Really?
Watch. Oh, I'm here.
I don't
done.
think
It's fine.
it looks... No, I don't think so.
I can hit over here. That's fine. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch to get here, but it's not undoable.
Oh, what, down here?
I can still hit. Like realistically, how many times are you hitting
Who needs
the
to be at the 24th fret
And
on
if
the
you
bottom?
are you going?
Yeah. Oh, and interestingly, no 6-string, right?
No 6-string, yeah.
No 6-string, so which is a shame. That's the one I would have bought.
These are launching, only in 7 and 8 strings, and they come in this blue, and there's this,
Come
and then
on.
there's a grey as well. Anyway, let's see it. Should I swap through some of these voicings things? Full tilt, and then we've got this different voicing. And then we're here. So you can hear there's like a difference in the mid bump.
Yeah,
it
sort of fat to the other positions, aren't they?
I think this is better demonstrated with a clean. So if I'm on the neck and normal. Big difference.
Bass note is great.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
The multi-scale thing really helps with that.
Yeah.
So we've got big difference. got the thing I really liked about it is that the cleans are really nice. Like I wasn't expecting that out of this because it looks like that, you know.
I don't think I've ever heard a guitar with a ceramic and an Alnico as two different pickups. And we always talk about what the difference is, but it would be nice to just go ceramic, Alnico, just for people. I mean, obviously they're two different positions as well, so that'll change. But
Sure,
I'm interested in just hearing. It's funny, isn't it? People, maybe it's more traditional guitars that people are a bit more anti-ceramic, you know, sort of. But I don't know, one just sounds like a neck pickup and one sounds like a bridge pickup.
I mean, obviously we have the positioning thing going on, but yeah, this one sounds a little bit more like deep and open sounding, which obviously is designed and positioned and all that stuff. But for the cleans and stuff, it's great, and for leads and things like that as well, it really cuts through too, which is great.
Do you want to do any more styles of playing on that?
I can, if you want.
Yeah, I think just, what have you got, sort of some lead solo-y, liquidy kind of... That's exactly it. I mean, I suppose that's the style of guitar playing that I think these design guitars are trying to sort of push them towards enabling, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
Well, I found that when I was plugging this in, like the neck pickup, especially for the lead thing, was actually really like smooth sounding, which I wasn't expecting. Again, because it looks like that. But it's actually a really smooth instrument.
That's cool, man. So, okay, so Alpha Series, 7-string, 8-string, 2 colors, no 6-string, and... Indonesian.
Yes,
Indonesian, and price was something like 1,600-ish. I think we were saying.
Roughly. We'll see how it comes out.
Pricing. I'm just going to give you ballpark numbers because that'll be different depending on the country you're in and all that kind of stuff. But if you're in the UK and you want to know in His Majesty's finest imperial credits, links below. You can go to the Andertons website, find out. But that's Alpha Series. So should we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Okay, quickly going to rattle through these. RGD is, I think, is probably one of my favourite of the Ibanez range because it's just, it's what you want it to be. It's just a normal guitar with a longer scale length so you can drop tune it and the guitar holds its tuning better. We've got a new 7-string in this kind of red burst satin finish and a nice new 6-string in this sort of sandblasted purple finish. That's it. You can only get the 6 in purple. You can only get the 7 in red. They're both under £1,000. Remind me again what these pickups are.
They are Fusion Edges. Fusion Edges.
Fusion Edges.
Over that
whilst Thom plays a selection of clean and dirty sounds, I shall spin this guitar around slowly so you can see its beautifulness. Oh, dissonant. Keep that in.
Yeah, nice, Failure. And then we've got this alter switch. Quite a large difference there. So it sounds good there.
Bit of shredding, just because.
Yeah, sure.
Great. These are great. So look, RGD, it's a big range, RGD. There's lots of different price points, lots of different models in it. But these are the 2 new ones. Go check them out. I like that a lot, Thom. So S-Series doesn't need an introduction. S-Series has been in the catalogue for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
If you could hold it up on its side, so people who don't know what S-Series is,
Yes.
and go to Taylor, that would be perfect. That's the idea with S-Series. This one is called the S6670. 670. Oh, sorry. It's perfect for that. That was why they released it. And this is from the Prestige range. This is Japanese. This is not going to leave you much change out of a couple of £1,000, but it's all the good specs and the case and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In a new silky oak top, which you can't. Can I see?
Yeah, it's sort of got like a, I don't know what you'd call that.
So it's a translucent finish, and it's got like a sort of a flame maple. Imagine if like an oak tree and a flame maple tree sort of created a new seedling, a new Groot.
Sure.
It would look a bit like that, but because it's such a dark stain, you sort of don't really see it.
It's like a mixture between quilt and flame at the same time,
it's
right?
Pretty. I remember years and years ago, Fender did silky oak as like a veneer top option on some guitars. But tell us just very quickly, pickups and trem system. What can we expect?
We've got a low pro bridge on this, and then we've got Damasio pickups, which is fairly standard for most of the Ibanez in the HSH format. So we've got True Velvet in the middle, and then we've got Tone Zone and another one.
Is it, if I remember rightly on...
Air Norton.
Fine. If I remember rightly on S-Series, the necks are more sort of Stratty traditional rather than Wizard, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is that the same on that? Sort of like a...
They do have a slightly different feel to them. They're slightly more round to me.
Yeah.
Because you can
like
sort
it's
of feel
not. That I've always liked S-Series. If you just want something that's lighter weight, closer to the body, but not an out crazy shred machine.
Yeah.
It's like a normal neck, if there is such a thing.
To me, it's like an RG but sleeker.
Yeah.
I
like that a lot. Could we just dial in a bit more gain for something, and then we'll move on to the next one? Oh, that was very classic rock. Perfect. And like I say, S-Series is a big range, so you can get S-Series right down into the more affordable guitars. This would be one of the more top-end ones.
Yeah.
But that is new for 2026. 6-7! So, you will have seen this model before, but with a trem system on it. Yep. So this is the RGR 5121. It's another prestige Japanese model. So again, think, 1800 and upwards. But I really like, to be honest with you, there's something about reverse headstock, flat kind of primer grey kind of finish, black hardware, looks mean.
If it's going to do the thing, let it look like it does.
But it's not extended scale length or anything like that. It's just a normal 6-string guitar, only available in that colour. But tell us about the pickups and maybe give us a couple of tones.
Fishman Fluences in this, so they come with the voicing switch here, which is common for all Fishman.
They look great in black, don't they?
They do, yeah.
It's pretty. That is a super dark piece of rosewood on the fretboard as well there. So, I mean, you'd be forgiven for thinking that was
almost
ebony, but no, it's rosewood. Let's just hear a slightly cleaner sound with a couple of other pickup settings. Nice. Right, let's go to the next RG model. I think that was actually probably the best bit of playing that you could have done for that guitar, because this of all the guitars I think we've got today takes me back to what I remember when I first started working in a guitar shop what Ibanez was, which was when the Gem had come out and the RG series were a thing. And RG's, I guess for people of a certain age, is probably what they just think of is a core Ibanez kind of model.
These, yeah.
This is the RG653. It's a bit of a sort of some things are very traditional, some things are quite modern.
Yeah.
It's, you can see this beautiful wood finish through. Looks like a ash body. You've got the torque guard, couple of humbuckers. Heavy on the abalone inlay on the neck, which I guess will be a bit, won't be necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but it gives it that very deluxe feel. Passive pickups though, right?
Yes.
So I think
again, we've got Damasio's in this.
So similar to the S series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the sound of that though, and I love I love what you can do. I need to get either a guitar with a Floyd or a low pro on it, because some of those kind of big fluttery kind of crazy.
You can't really do on a Goto or anything like that. It's like on the AZs
without
and stuff.
Promoting other brands and stuff in an Ibanez video. I've put a Vega trem on a guitar recently, and that's the closest I've got to being sort of Floydy. But I still kind of feel it's like that's the ultimate for.
There is a feel for the edges as well. So like I have guitars with Floyd Roses on them, and the Ibanez Edge series. They're obviously similar, but they do feel different. And I grew up playing them, so I feel really comfortable with them. But I just think the other thing with them as well is that they're really smooth.
Yeah,
like that's one of the things that Ibanez have really got right with these trems. Is that you can put your hand here and it doesn't
palm
scratch
mute
you
on
up.
it without it.
Yeah,
I love what you were playing there. So a little bit more of an extended version of that, please, would be. I got the price slightly wrong on this actually. I was assuming as it's prestige model it would be dearer than it really is. So this you can get for about £1,500, which is actually for a Japanese made prestige cased guitar not too shabby at all. Anyway, moving on, we're going way down the range now. I bloody love this guitar. Yep. So this might be the most popular Ibanez that we sell. So this is the RG421DX. It's just a rock machine. You got change out of 400 quid. It sounds great, hard tail. It's got all the classic Ibanez appointments like the inlays and the neck and just the headstock and the styling. But this colour is called Twilight Shade, and I don't even know. What I love watching you're in the perfect light as well to make it go. It's very sort of dark black up here, going to like a purple metallic down here.
Yeah, it's almost
in a
blue
fade.
around here, you know.
It looks wicked. It's such a good looking guitar. So that's going to be crazy popular this year.
Yeah.
The model itself has been around for ages. There's lots of other colours that you can get in this model as well. But RG421 is pound for pound one of the best guitars I think Ibanez make.
The classic Ibanez thing, if you want it at an affordable price point.
Yeah. It's a 5-way switch, right? So you've got so you've got all your coil split sounds as well as your humbucker sounds. Great guitar.
One of the things I noticed about these actually is the fourth position on RGs. Actually, one of the things that people gloss over is that the fourth and second position are really kind of stratty if you need them. Like. That sort of thing,
it's just a great guitar.
It's like a secret sleeper mode.
I always think with these kind of demos, it's very hard. Not demos, but just anything that we're doing about guitars. Where's the sweet spot for you can get a good guitar for 100 quid. You can get a great guitar for sort of 300 or 400 quid, and then by the time you get into the 1500s and the 2000s, you really have to accept that you're paying quite a lot of money for relatively marginal gains. But I mean you could rock that guitar in so many different scenarios. I think it's a great looking guitar. Yeah. As you can tell, I really like that. Bankhurst. That was fantastic.
It's not all shred, you know.
Okay, so obviously we are now moving into the realms of the semi-hollow guitars that Ibanez make. And again, Gibson have some amazing artists in the semi-hollow range and, you know, some famous, super famous guitars. But Ibanez, man, massive. George Benson, Pat Metheny, John Schofield, they have a fabulous heritage of making this kind of guitar. And these styles of guitars predate RG from the Ibanez range. However, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a baritone semi-acoustic.
Yeah, this might be one of the first ones on the market in a sort of like you can easily get them.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are obviously longer scale lengths, so you get that baritone thing going on. This is currently tuned to B. Yeah. So it's like a 7-string almost, but lower. But yeah, it rolls off really nicely on some of these. So like if I real nice depth.
This is, I'm going to get this out here quick because this is amazing, right? This is only 550 quid, which I think is nuts.
I'll buy one.
And I don't know that, you know, sometimes it's like every year the simplest new idea is the best new idea. Yep. And it's like, of course, semi-acoustic baritone. It's like super simple, almost obvious, but that no one's done yet. I love the trapeze tailpiece as opposed to the sort of the hard tail. Yeah. I'm assuming it's a center block guitar, so it's very much kind of your classic sort of 3-3-5 style tones.
Yeah. Great finish on it as well, like traditional looking finish.
Is it just one colour in this? One colour? Okay, that's one less decision to make. Just even closer to pressing the buy now button.
Yes,
I'm amazed with that. I absolutely love it. It's got, obviously at that price point, it's going to have Ibanez own brand kind of pickups. But again, they've got so much heritage and lineage in this style of guitar. They'll obviously be designing a pickup that's appropriate for this.
Yeah.
Could you put a tiny bit of hair on it? Because I kind of feel like some of those big.
But good, I presume. Got that twang that you get out of a baritone really nicely because of the hollow bodiness.
And what again I personally love, I always feel with stringed instruments they all have their place and their sound, but if I picked up a ukulele or a mandolin or something like that, the fact that all the strings are tuned to different intervals means I can't transfer my guitar knowledge to this new instrument. Whereas baritone is great because it's the 6 strings are all the same intervals, so all the same chords, all the same shapes.
Just sound more deep and soulful.
You sound like you're playing a cello as opposed to a violin or something like that. I love it. I love the baritone. That's probably my favourite. You knew I would say that anyway, right? I'm old.
It's my favourite too.
Is it?
Yeah. Of the new range, instantly I was like.
Now I'm never going to remember the model number of this because it's got 4 digits and 2 letters in it, but it's AS something and it's on screen now.
It's the only baritone hollow body really, so just baritone hollow body.
Yeah,
Ibanez.
That's going to be really popular. I love that. But anyway, this one is similarly fab. So this is a bit more expensive. This is coming out of the a sort of a master built factory in Indonesia. This is called an ASH 300, sorry. And as well as visually looking rather beautiful with all the sort of, it's got Ibanez's sort of proprietary bridge, I think here, this lovely wooden kind of cover over the tailpiece.
All of the hardware is wood on it, which is just, really the pickup rings aren't, but
it's got this very 70s-esque split bone and brass bridge, nut, on it. And I loved that back in the day, back in the 70s, brands like Ibanez and Yamaha were playing with a lot of brass kind of components, whether it was sort of under the bridge or at the nut, whatever, just to sort of get that different kind of sustain and zing that brass gives. But that's a beautiful looking guitar. This is more like 1400, so we've jumped up a little bit now. But again,
it's got tortoiseshell binding as well, which is just...
It's fab. I loved it.
And on the back as well, like...
All the binding on that is really beautifully done. Let's have a little listen. Are these Ibanez own brand pickups as well? They are indeed. So anyway, go check out the website, ASH 300. jazz chords coming out
So
there.
we've actually got this alter switch thing on it as well, which is really, I'll demo that for a sec. So what this does is, when you're it's only in the neck position, it swaps between different voicing sounds. So we'll just show you that. So we've got, so it takes quite a lot of the low end out there, and then,
I love the look of that guitar. I really do. Well, probably my two favourite guitars of the demo. But again, that's no reflection on, that's just me being old. But I would absolutely, I think, for a semi-acoustic guitar, particularly if you were looking for something that perhaps was more leaning towards a Gibson than a Gretsch, I would absolutely look at the Ibanez range. It's a fabulous, fabulous range of guitars.
Well, they're generally quite cheap as well in terms of for what you get. Like the hollow body series from Ibanez is actually like a lot sort of more affordable than some of their counterparts, but it sounds really good.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
worth checking out.
I agree. We'll definitely revisit this at some point, I'm sure. Okay, lastly, we are into the artist models from Ibanez, another range of guitars that harks back to models that Ibanez were first producing back in the 70s, and clearly again staying in that sort of Gibson-y vein, double cut, mahogany body style set neck guitars.
Shorter scale length as well. So these are 24.7.
Okay.
So that, again, if you're looking at Ibanez in general and going, they're all 25.5, they don't do the thing. They do the thing.
They do the thing.
They're shorter scale length guitars.
So the one that you're holding, I love. It's got all of the classic old Ibanez appointments with the sort of the tailpiece, the engraved pickups, the Tree of Life inlay. It's really, really beautiful. Not crazy money. That's the AR625, so that's going to be the most expensive one that we've got here. But I say most expensive, we're still talking 800-ish, I think. So lots of cool switches and stuff. So Thom, if you want to give us a quick whiz through on that.
I think if I put a little bit of drive on. Some classic rock, I think.
If we whiz over onto a clean sound, because
Sure.
you've now got this tritone switch that we had on the previous semi. We've now actually got on each pickup. So we've got tons of. Not only have you got your three-way switch here, you've got 3 positions per. My maths isn't good enough, but we've got dozens of different pickup combinations. I'm guessing here, right? So let's have
someone in the comments will tell us. Maths wizard. Bridge, I'll do that here. Middle, I'm going to move both of them at the same time. How many times do you want that chord?
No, it's great. So you've got that's a satin finish one. Back of the neck is satin as well. So it's got a slightly more sort of played in sort of feel to it. If that doesn't float your boat, what about this, which is the AR520, a very visually different looking guitar, not only the F-hole, so this part of the guitar is hollow, this part will be solid. But yeah, some sort of, I'm not even sure what that wood is on the top.
Macassar ebony.
Is it? A Macassar ebony top with heavy inlay as well around it, like an abalone style inlay around it.
It's very
That's very bling, isn't it? Have a little noodle on that one. It's similar money to this. I might have actually got the price of this slightly too high. I think it's somewhere like $750 rather than $800. This is very slightly less, but very similar ballpark. Kind of the same idea of the 2 sets of the tritone switches, but one master now, the tone and volume rather than the separate one. But it looks fabulous, very different looking. Let's have a little listen.
Yeah. really jangly.
I really like that.
Great.
Could you put a bit of growl on it and just play maybe some sort of, you know, bluesy rock sort of stuff?
Yeah.
All the humbuckers on these, by the way, are voiced to be like a vintage, you know, Gibson style humbucker. So they're that
That's
right
why I
kind
played
of.
that.
Yeah, it's that not, you know, not too hot. It's a killer sounding guitar. Right, we've got one more. Whilst Thom is tuning up, this last one is the AR320. This comes down a little bit price-wise, so we're now more like 500 quid. Look, by the looks of things, we've got a lot of similar features in terms of the switching system and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a plainer finish. But that said, I love that kind of dark, sort of charcoaly. It's almost got a hint of dark blue in it, hasn't it? Like a midnight
it's almost
blue
purple.
sort of colour.
Just almost.
But really like that. Again, nice inlays. I like the fact that it's got the natural back on it as well.
Yep.
So anyway, beautiful looking guitar. And that is the last one, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll have a quick noodle out on that. And it's great. Look, 500 quid for this style of guitar. You know, you're obviously going to probably go and check out an Epiphone Les Paul as well, which is all fine. But honestly, if you want something that's maybe just a different vibe to the single cut kind of thing.
A little bit more versatile possibly as well.
Totally agree with that. You've got to check out one of these Ibanez AR models. They're very good.
I think that's true for the whole Ibanez range, actually. Like, you just have to try them, you know, like, especially with the alphas and stuff like that. It's like, when I tried it, I went, okay, I get this. Like, this is cool, you know. And
the alpha thing, I mean, again, just as a recap, that style of guitar has really surprised me with how many guitar players like me who would have a nice collection of Strats and Tellys and Les Paul and you think would never go anywhere near a guitar like this, have actually gone, you know what? Just for the way it forces my posture to sit differently and stuff, and it's just they have sold okay to that kind of customer as well as the person you probably more typically think would buy that. For the eagle-eyed amongst you, we're not going to plug it in, but there is a new AZ colour. Maybe Thom just wants to grab it. This is not a new guitar. This is just the fact that this AZ model now is available in black.
Yeah, the standard series that we launched last year now comes in black in an HSS format as well.
Right.
There are some other AZ series. So there's two new prestige offerings.
Nice.
There's a charcoal sort of grey one, and there's also a brown one, but they've got like gold hardware on them. Nice. And some people online were wondering about the trem. We'll just talk about that really quickly. It's like the trem is all gold now on their Goto hardware, but the saddles are still silver.
Okay.
The reason that they're still silver is because the AZ, they're all titanium saddles,
right?
Which means they're less likely to wear out. You obviously can't coat them as easily, but that was one of the things I saw, and I just thought, you know.
No, that's very cool. And I suspect in the description below this video will be a link to probably a longer format blog piece where all the new Ibanez stuff is written about and photographed and all that kind of stuff. So, Thom, I think we should have a little sort of more traditional style jam. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Thom, for coming down, and for Ibanez for sending us all these lovely guitars to review. Yes, you've got to check one out in 2026. So that's it. Thank you so much. See you in another video soon.